What's up guys, welcome back to the Green Hulk Garage. We've got my RX PX 325 back in the garage today because we've got an install to do. So we're going to be replacing the flimsy intercooler tubing and this cheap plastic blow-off valve that comes with the new 325. Now we're not going to get a direct gain in mile per hour from this, but we might get a little snappier throttle response and increased reliability with a better blow-off valve. These factory hoses, they're really soft. I mean, you could just squeeze them with your hand. So what that means is when you're on and off the throttle, the hoses are expanding and contracting, and it's hurting your throttle response. We're going to be replacing that with a much stiffer silicone hose kit from Fizzle. You can hardly even squeeze this, so this is a very good upgrade. When you stab the throttle, these are not going to expand, and you're going to get a much better throttle response with these. This is the one going from the supercharger and will house the blow-off valve here. We will be putting this nice Turbo Smart blow-off valve on it, and this one is red in color and nice and pretty to match the new 325. So this is actually a very simple install to do. We do have to remove the stock intake, and of course we've got to take out the old silicone hoses. All you really need is an 8mm, maybe a flathead screwdriver, but you will end up needing a Torx bit to get the old manifold adapter off for the vacuum hose going to the blow-off valve. To get this factory intake off, you do have a couple of these straps to remove. There was a zip tie here, but I already cut that a while back when I took this intake tube off. And we do have to get out this hose clamp. You can use a flathead screwdriver or an 8mm nut driver to get this off. I always prefer using a nut driver. With the intake tube off, we've got access to this port right here. I already cut the factory vacuum hose off of it just to get this out of my way. But we can remove this with a T30 Torx bit, and do not drop the screw because we have to reuse that. After I get that off, I am going to take the factory blow-off valve off and just loosen this intake tube and move it out of my way just so I have a little bit more room to work with back here. And when we get this out, you'll be able to see just how cheap and flimsy this sucker is. I already got this hose clamp off. Just got to take this one off. That would be your factory recirculating blow-off valve that will be replaced with the Turbo Smart one, and this is like the cheapest plastic junk I've ever seen. I like high quality parts, and this is not one of them. I mean, I could just push this thing open with my thumb. I could honestly probably just break this in half if I really tried to. It's not the most durable part. So the Turbo Smart is going to be a very nice upgrade for this. Now we can get the factory intercooler hoses off, and I will not lie to you, they can be a bit of a pain to get out of here. They're stuck on that intercooler really good, and it's going to take a lot of wiggling and pulling to get these to come off once the hose clamps are off. I got these off, and you can see just how flimsy this is. I mean, this is a joke. For something that's designed to hold boost, it sure is flimsy. The chances of it rupturing is like almost slim to none, but you still don't want it expanding and contracting. That hurts your throttle response, so happy to get rid of these. Fizzle does include all new hose clamps that are going to be a better option than the factory ones. So we're going to use those and get these right on. Now getting these on, to make it easy, I actually just spit in the opening a little bit. It lubes it up and makes it slide right on. Now that I've got the new intercooler tubing on and tightened down, I'm going to put the new manifold adapter in here. This will be that new manifold adapter. So it's going to be two pieces. You've got this barb fitting that you're going to have to thread in there. So what I'll do first is put this in the manifold with the factory screw, and then I'll come back, thread this into the adapter, but I will put some thread sealant on the thread so we don't have any chance of a leak. That's in, and now all we have left to do is put the blow-off valve on, and that is also a simple part to this as well. The kit includes this flange, which will go down into the silicone hose right here. We'll clamp this down with the hose clamp, and the blow-off valve will clamp on top of this. The last thing we need to do is plug off this side of the blow-off valve with the included plug and put the barb fitting on this side that'll connect to the vacuum line on the intake manifold, and that will be a complete install. Now, we'll put more thread sealant on the plug and the barb fitting. If you've never done this before, you might want to do this to the blow-off valve on the outside of the ski because you just don't want to torque it too much and end up screwing something up. I know I'm not going to, but if you're inexperienced, you might just want to put it in before you put the blow-off valve on the hose. Everything fit fantastic with this kit. My only complaint is the blow-off valve hose red doesn't match the blow-off valve red, so I'm going to get Fizzle to send me a black one. Other than that, this absolutely fit fantastic. Everything is perfect, and we're going to have a much more durable and reliable hose and a way better blow-off valve. Now, by the time you see this video, this kit's going to be added in the Green Hulk store, so we'll be putting a link to that in the description below, so be sure to get one of these for your 325. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all in the next video.